Coming up on Prep Sports Central, two 5A teams clash for major district implications.
A conference meet that saw over 50 student athletes compete.
And a state runner-up team on a revenge tour.
Those stories and more start now on Prep Sports Central.
We had Ankeny winning, no 4th or 5 team, and we just came out and had a better organic speed.
Ankeny played host to the Johnson Dragons on senior night, welcoming in crowds in this high school ranked matchup. Hello, I'm Nathan Porter.
And I'm Abby Altman. District 3 in Class 5A saw ranked Johnston and Ankeny go head-to-head. Both teams were undefeated in district play heading into the night. Holden Schirmer has the story.
We're here at Ankeny Stadium as the Johnson Dragons take on the Ankeny Hawks in a varsity football matchup.
The Hawks took the field as they looked to continue their hot start, but it was all about the Dragons' defense in the first half as they got this big 4th down stop in the second quarter. This gave them the momentum to get their offense going, which led to this receiving touchdown by Henry Clevenger, putting the Dragons up 7-0. The Hawks responded shortly after, tying the game 7-7 going into halftime. They would both trade touchdowns in the third. So then, jumping to the fourth, after the Dragons got a field goal to take the lead, the Hawks would march down the field and get their first lead of the game with this touchdown pass by quarterback Carl Roach to wideout Andrew Brandhorst, giving them a 21-17 lead. Johnston wouldn't blink though as they managed to score and take most of the clock with them with this huge run by Emery Jones to give the Dragons the go-ahead score and win. Senior receiver Tino Day Jr. talks about the team's confidence going into the game.
Good, all practice, we've been working on it, so I knew it was coming.
Ankeny falls to 4-2 on the season while Johnston improves to 5-1. The Hawks will travel to Ames next week, while Johnson will head back home and host Sioux City East. At Ankeny Stadium, I'm Holden Schirmer for Prep Sports Central.
Thanks for that, Holden.
Now we go to the homecoming matchup between the Valley Tigers and the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars. The Jaguars came into this one looking to upset Valley in their homecoming as they struck first on their opening drive with a 36-yard strike from Miller to Meinarts to set the tone early on. The Centennial fans were loving it, but that did not last long as the Tigers responded quickly with a touchdown pass of their own from DeGroot to Schoberall, who gets the extra yardage after contact to find his way into the end zone. The Tigers' defense was crucial in this one as they held the Jaguars to only one score the whole game as this tough Valley's defense was swarming around the ball all night long. The final dagger came from DeGroot as he found McGregory in the end zone for 6, giving Valley a big homecoming win. DeGroot had this to say about Valley's offensive progression so far this year.
We're feeling great. The momentum's, we're building. We just keep winning. We're one of these nights we're trying to click with our receivers, but our offense is moving the ball. We have a great run game right now.
Valley is now 5-1 and looks to continue their 4-game winning streak next week against Sioux City North Stars, while Centennial now moves to 3-3 and hosts Indianola next week at home.
Now, we take a look at a 2A football matchup as the Kemper Catholic Knights are looking to defend their home field on senior night against the Spirit Lake Indians. Number 1 Catholic hosted Spirit Lake on Friday as they look to keep their undefeated season alive. Kemper quarterback Brock Batting found his receiver Braxton Vanamy for 6 on this opening drive of the game. Kemper Catholic kept their foot on the gas as Batting found his other receiver Griffin Glynn, who made it look easy as he showcased his speed and outran the Indians' defense 60 yards to the house. However, Spirit Lake quickly found the end zone with quarterback Ty Higgins reading the defense and running it in. But they certainly weren't done yet. Spirit Lake drew up a trick passing play that led to them getting into the end zone, applying more pressure onto Kemper, who was holding on to a 1-score lead. However, Kemper Catholic showed why they are ranked number 1, as they refused to be brought down, ultimately running away with the game. Kemper Catholic head coach Ryan Steinkamp says why this win belongs to his players.
I think it comes down to our kids playing hard. We talk about being offense, defense, special teams. All 3 phases struggled at times tonight, but they answered the call. We talk about how great things are going to happen, bad things are going to happen, how to respond, and I was really proud of our kids, the grit they showed throughout the game too. A lot of credit goes to Spirit Lake. They gave us everything they had and had us on their toes, and our kids responded well, so I was really proud of them for it.
Kemper Catholic now jumps up to 6-0 on the season as they will go on the road against Estherville Lincoln Central later this week. Meanwhile, Spirit Lake drops to 1-5 and will be hosting Southeast Valley for homecoming.
Now we take a look at golf, where a few of the top teams and players in 5A compete in the CIML Conference Golf Meet. It was a beautiful day for golf last Wednesday when the 9 teams of the Central Iowa Metropolitan League met at Beaver Creek Golf Course in Grimes. 3 schools were in the lead with a firm grasp as Waukee Northwest led the way with 2 golfers on the podium and 4 finishing in the top 10. This led to their first place finish with a team score of 284. The Wolves were followed closely by Valley in second with a team score of 286 and Johnston in third with a team score of 289. The league's low average scorer Braeden Nielsen fell short on the day, finishing in 5th place, just 3 strokes behind his teammate Caden Norris, who led the day with a strong finish of 5 under par, earning himself the conference tournament championship.
I went out there, I kind of started slow, but I bounced back. I had a stretch of holes where I played them 6 under through 7 holes, so it was a good bounce back for me.
After a competitive showing at Beaver Creek, teams now turn their attention towards the state tournament, which starts next Monday and Tuesday.
Next up, we go to a top 10 volleyball matchup where the Waukee Warriors took on the Dowling Catholic Maroons. 8th-ranked Dowling celebrated their senior night with an intense matchup against number 10-ranked Waukee. Dowling got off to a strong start in the first set, but the Warriors put together a run to take the set 25-20. The second and third sets were defined by Dowling's dominance as they stifled a comeback attempt to win the second set 27-25. They dominated start to finish in the third set to win it 25-16, which gave them the lead 2-1 behind some powerful kills from freshman Ellie Brunkhorst. With their backs against the wall, Waukee took set 4, 25-20 on a back-and-forth rally to build momentum going into the 5th and final set. The final set was a nail-biter, but ultimately Dowling won 16-14 following a powerful block at the net.
Ava, who's our normal right side, got that kill, and she's our senior. She had that kill on that outside, which was huge, and then she got that block. So finishing the game with those 2 points and having one of our senior players do that for us, she's never going to forget that.
Waukee will look to put an end to their 3-game losing streak against Urbandale, while the Maroons will prepare for a matchup against Southeast Polk on Tuesday.
One volleyball team is set on a redemption path this year.
Isaac Christensen and Delaney Peterson bring you the story of how Waukee Northwest volleyball team has one expectation, bringing home the championship trophy.
Really disappointing to go so far at state, but then end up losing it in the championship to a good team. We all think back on that, and then we think of how we can improve.
After you lose in a state championship, it never really feels good, but going into the next season, I think that we carry that with us, going into practice every day. It makes us work harder, and we're ready for redemption.
But I would say it still hurt. I think everyone worked really hard outside the season. Almost every girl on the team plays club. So everyone's working really hard, and I think having that extra year of experience now, since we're the same team as last year, no seniors, will really help us this year.
I think we started even summer open gym, summer team camps with, you guys, we're not losing this year, we're going to be state champs. That was just spoken, unspoken, all around the team. And then I think if you spend any time in our gym, you can just see these girls genuinely like each other, and they enjoy playing together, and they love the game.
We're all really good friends outside of volleyball too, which has made volleyball really fun. And then just our overall connection on the court is you can see how close we are as friends.
I'd say my biggest concern in starting the season was just making sure they don't become complacent, because they are really talented athletes and they've had a lot of success already. So just trying to think of different ways that we can challenge them, and not just volleyball-wise, but their mindset, the way they interact with each other, and trying to take more from the game of volleyball than just volleyball.
I think that we care a lot about the little things, and critiquing everything in practice to really better yourself and be the best version of yourself. And also, we do a lot of team bonding and we're a really close team, so I think that helps us play really well together.
The biggest goals for us, I mean, our end goal is to win state or at least get back to the state championship. And another goal is to win our conference, so we have 2 more games left. And I think every day in practice we come in and we do the little things so that the big things can happen.
Everyone just wants it more. Everyone really wants that state championship. We want to be back in that final game and win it this time. So.
The girls will continue their quest for a state title on October 21st in the Class 5A playoffs.
We're now thrilled to welcome Isaac Christensen as our guest today for Rapid Fire Rundown.
Thanks, happy to be here. So, in what was probably the best game this past weekend with high school football was number 2 Grundy Center taking on number 4 South Hardin, and Grundy Center won that game 21-12.
Yeah, and it had crazy implications for rankings, which we'll get into later. But I mean, Grundy went to number 1 and Harding stayed at number 4. But it was a crazy matchup in 2A, and I just love some good 2A, 1A, those lower class football matchups, especially when they're higher ranked.
Absolutely, yeah. And that was Grundy Center's 45th straight win, the 5th longest winning streak in Iowa history.
Yeah, and if they manage to keep it up and get all the way up to 57, that's the longest in Iowa State history.
Yeah, that would be quite impressive. Staying on the rankings, I mean, let's talk about the 2A rankings with a big shakeup.
Yeah, so like you said, South Hardin stayed at 4. It's hard to move down after a loss like that. I mean, it was a good team that they were beaten by, so they're just going to stay at 4. But for Grundy Center, they move up to 1. That's huge for them.
Yeah, and now we have Team 1, Team 2, and Team 3 in the rankings, all 6-0, and then we have a 5-1 Harding team at number 4, looking to get their get back after a tough loss.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Again, you see those top 3 teams are all 6-0, so it's just such an impressive conference 1A, and it'll be so fun to watch how this shakes out.
Yeah, the 1A playoffs should be really good.
Yeah, especially. And then 4A, we had a lot of shakeups in 4A as well.
Yeah, Pella lost. They lost to Newton in a 35-33 thriller. That was a great game, too. I wish we had been there. That one was really good.
Yeah, that would have been a great one. And now Pella is not undefeated anymore. They go to 5-1. We have Newton now in number 7. And Pella at 2. Xavier takes that number 1.
Yeah, one thing about Pella is it seems every year they drop this one game, but what they're really good at is just staying on track. They end up finishing hot no matter where they may fall in that one game.
Yeah, and at number 5, Union suffered a really tough loss. They lost to a 3-3 Hudson team, and that's going to be a rough one for them.
Yeah, and now, very importantly, state tennis.
Yeah, that just happened. That was great. Gabby Fleming, her 3rd title in a row. I mean, that's very impressive.
Yeah, I believe she becomes the 9th player in the state of Iowa to ever have 3 wins in a row, and now she looks to be the 3rd or 4th player in state history to have 4 in a row.
Yeah, there's been 3, and if she'll be the 4th if she wins all 4 years.
Yeah, she defeated the same player she did last year in this finals as well.
Which happened in the same calendar year because girls tennis was a spring sport, now it's a fall sport. So within a 4 to 5 month period, they played each other again for the state. That's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, that's a tennis-packed year for her.
Yeah.
And now going to doubles. I mean, crazy doubles as well.
Yeah, we had 2 sisters lose in the final. You'd think that chemistry would work really well together, and it did. They got 2nd, but it was just not quite enough to get 1st.
Yeah, and especially being 6-3 and 6-3, it's sort of a blowout. I mean, you'd expect more of competition in the finals, especially with that chemistry, like you said. But it really was sort of a sad showing.
Yeah, Tia Howell beat Gemma Yundum from Cedar Rapids Xavier. Again, you said 6-3 and 6-3. They step on that court and they just find their groove so quickly. They're so fun to watch, and every year they're super fun to watch. They're great on that court.
And interesting to note, Gemma was injured last year for the tennis finals, so they get to be back together and win this time.
Yeah, great to watch that state tennis tournament. Well, thank you for joining us here on Prep Sports Central.
Join us next time for all the highlights and stories from around Central Iowa.